And you mentioned there that the traditional sort of like DTMF-based IVR systems are easy to implement, which is fair enough, but the experience is typically terrible, isn't it?
Correct. Yeah.
So,
There are pros and cons. I would say, it's fairly
what are the pros
simple.
aside from speed of implementing it, because it's a fairly straightforward sort of solution? What are the pros of the DTMF-based IVR?
It's a matured technology. People are familiar with traditional menu-driven IVR systems. Uh, it's quite straightforward. You have to press something, and then that takes you to the right department or right menu.
Yeah.
So those are the pros. Easy to implement, easy to maintain as well. So those are the pros. And if we talk about cons, I would say, let's say, you want to talk to someone about your problem and your problem is not there on their menu. So you have to go through multiple levels just to figure out your option within that menu. So that's the main disadvantage of the current traditional IVR systems.
Yeah, I think that there was a great piece of work done from Andrew Moorhouse. Shout out to Andrew Moorhouse. He was I think it might have been at Deloitte at the time. They did an analysis of Nationwide Bank, and they looked at IVR, live chat, and I think chatbot it may have been, and found that I can't remember the exact numbers, so it's not going to be accurate, but it's something like the IVR had something like 90 kind of options. If you were to go through every single option, there's about 90 options there. The agents, when you get through to a live agent, they had something like 290 something disposition codes. So the difference between what the agents were trying to classify stuff as and what the IVR was kind of routing people through to, there was like a bit of a disconnect there. But then they found that the chatbot had something like 180 intents. So there's a disconnect between what the chatbot can handle and what the IVR system can handle versus what the agents are actually logging. But then when they actually did the analysis of all the conversations that the bank was having, they found that the bank had about 320 different intents. So I think many organizations are in this situation where the IVR is handling some but not all, because that's the limitations of that technology. The agents are kind of able to log some stuff, but again, not all, because they've only got a certain amount of time at the end of a phone call. The AI initiatives that organizations have been through in the past have only really focused on the top volume, high volume intents, and then the long tail kind of gets forgotten about or put to the bottom of the pile. So there does seem to be a bit of a disconnect between a business's ability to actually handle all customer needs across all channels